Good evening, Rainmakers. Good evening. You know, I was sitting over here, and 5 years ago, about right now, I spoke in this room to a Rainmakers group, and I know there were a few people here. You may remember that we did this silly thing called junkyard golf. Does anybody remember that? There's a few hands. Those people with their hands in the air are the people that the rest of you all want to meet. Not because they saw me that night, but because they're the people that have been committed to this organization for that long. Raise your hands again. Make sure you meet those people. So that night, we had a good time, I think would be a safe way to say it. For those of you that weren't here, you'll have to ask somebody else what we did, but we took junk. This whole corner of the room was full of junk, and when we were done, we had created miniature golf courses. And we used that as a way to talk about what we wanted to talk about that night. Tonight, I want to get serious. So 5 years ago, we were being frivolous, maybe. Tonight, I want to get serious. And so if you're sitting down, you have a blue handout in front of you. We're going to get so serious that I'm going to actually ask you to take notes. About a month ago, or a little over a month ago, Ellen said, "What are you going to talk about?" And I said, "Well, I know what I want to talk about. I just don't know what I want to call it." And I went back to my office and I thought, what's the question that people ask all the time when they don't really believe something? Or what's the question that people ask all the time when they're just not sure? And the question they ask is, "Are you serious?" Or they say, "Seriously?" And so I thought it made sense for us to think about what it means to be serious and how it makes a difference in our lives when we get serious. And so what I've done is I put together 6 questions that I think are the test of seriousness. And so all of these are the questions that I think help us decide how serious we are about going where we want to go. Because every year on January the 1st, everyone's serious about their New Year's resolutions, aren't they? Not so much, right? Let's talk about these 6 things that may help us think about our seriousness. The first question that I want to ask you is, what are your goals? I mean, how can you possibly be serious if you don't have goals? And I know you're all saying, everyone always says you got to have goals, you got to have goals, you got to have goals. You tell everybody you got to have goals, and then someone says, "Do you have any?" Well, do you have goals? If you don't have goals, how could you possibly be serious about your future? And the only you could go on Google, or you could go to the bookstore on the way home, and you could find 100 books about goals. Every one of them will give you a process to set your goals. Pick one. It doesn't matter. None of them are wrong. All of them will work. Pick one. Too many people get stuck trying to get that right. First question of seriousness, what are your goals? Second question, more important than what are your goals, is why do you want to reach them? Goals are important, absolutely, 100%. But it's not about the goal, it's about the why. Why do I want to get it? How will I benefit? How will my family benefit? How will my customers benefit? How will our community benefit? Why? It's not about the revenue goal. It's not about the accolade. It's not about whatever it is. It's about the why does it matter to you. Because once you understand and really internalize your why, now you'll get serious. Because now you'll do what it takes. As Desiree said a minute ago, now you'll do what it takes because you've decided based on your why. What's your why? Why is it important? So first question of seriousness is, what are your goals? Do you have goals? What are they? Second question is, why are they important? Do you understand the meaning behind your goal? Because the goal itself means nothing. And this is why, by the way, 99% of New Year's resolutions don't ever happen. Because there's no why. Right? Someone was nice enough today, a few minutes ago, to say they thought I'd lost weight. Actually, that's not true. I've gained a little weight. The point, many of us at some point in our lives have wanted to lose weight. Yes? Why? When you get the why, and it's not just what you hear on the news or what your wife said, then you'll do it. But until you've got the why, it ain't going to happen. Third question, where's your focus? Where's your focus? We can talk about focus in lots of ways, but I want to talk about focus very specifically in two things. I want you to think about what's the focus question about seriousness is, am I thinking about what's inside of my control and what can I influence? You've heard of the circle of control or the circle of influence. Those are the things that we can do something about. And if we keep our focus inside of those two circles, we are much more likely to be successful. We are much more serious about our success. We've got to stay focused inside of what we control, inside of what we can influence. Because if we start worrying about stuff outside of that, there's literally nothing we can do about it. Wasted effort. Wasted effort.